Hi, I'm Dave, Fellow Running Guide. Today I'm doing a 500 kilometre review of a pair of running shoes. That's these, which are the Icebug Acceleritas 8 trail shoe. So I did a video on these when I first got them, but what I think people are more interested in, certainly when it comes to shoes, is how long they last. So how long before the tread wears out, how long before the sole starts to fall off or the uppers split. You know, how many miles can we get out of them before they need throwing away and replacing. So let's have a look at how I've got on with the Icebugs. So I've got a photo of what the shoes looked like when they were new, but what about now, after almost 500 kilometres of running on gritstone, on peaty, acidic, Peak District terrain. So I've actually clocked these as 482 kilometres, so pretty much 500 kilometres, near as damn it. I have had them for several years, so I don't wear shoes, I don't get a pair of shoes and wear them for all the runs until they wear out and then replace them. I tend to go through several in rotation, so there might be times when these have been in the cupboard for several months and then I'll dig them out and wear them again. And if I'm honest, I'm not the type of person who meticulously cleans their shoes after use. I certainly don't clean them with warm soapy water every time they get muddy. I'll give them a bit of a swill and leave them to dry off naturally. Or if they're not that muddy, I won't even clean them at all. I'll just sort of bang the soles together and then leave them till next time I use them. But 500 kilometres is 500 kilometres, so how have they fared? Well, firstly, let's have a look at the bottoms, the outsole, and I'm really impressed with this. So there's hardly any wear on these treads at all. They're a very, well, quite aggressive shoe, and you can see there's hardly any wear on these studs at all. Now, admittedly, I do most of the running on soft ground, but compare this with other shoes that I've used, these the tread has worn or hasn't worn down at all compared to some of the other shoes. So excellent wear on there. Another point or place on the shoe that sometimes wears away is on this heel cup. So you put the shoe on and off, and that stood up really well. No wear on that at all. And then on the upper itself, all of this stitching is still in really good repair. No fraying on the stitching. Maybe a tiny little bit just on there on the toe rand. But we can see that the rand is still in good nick. It's not starting to separate from the shoe at all. The one thing that hasn't worn as well or fared so well is the upper material itself. Certainly on that flex point there. So you can see that flex point. They're very flexible, the shoes, and that repeated flex there started to wear the outer material. It's a bit worse on the inside, on the instep. You see that there. And actually on the right shoe, it's worse, and it's gone through completely on this point here. What I notice is it seems like the outer material is two layers, so the first layer wore away completely, leaving an inner layer, so it didn't go right the way through to my socks, but certainly the outer layer ripped. And I've reinforced this with shoe goo, so I find that's good stuff. It really helps you get a bit more life out of your shoes. Now, I did this probably about 70 kilometres ago, so these haven't really lasted much more than 400 kilometres before the upper needed repairing. So there's some good points and there's some bad points on the Acceleritas. Certainly excellent resistance to wear on the sole unit, and on several parts of the upper it stood up really well, but unfortunately the flex point has been a weakness, and that has in this case worn through on one shoe and is not too far away from doing so on the other. How long this repair will last, whether the shoe goo will hold up, remains to be seen. But anyway, that is the 500 kilometre review of the Icebug Acceleritas 8. I hope you found it useful. Thanks for watching.